Hey, what's going on, ladsters? Welcome. It is Halloween. And in the Halloween spooky season, I got my Halloween lighting up and ready, which basically means no lighting except for my computer screen. Also, by the way, I've got my epic Spider-Man Homecoming poster right behind me. It makes a great backdrop, great background, you know. Like, what, you're going to click on my videos from now on, and you're going to be like, that's the guy who had the Spider-Man Homecoming poster. Anyways, this is a video about scary things in non-scary video games. More particularly, scary things in, I guess, non-scary video games. I guess scary things more in, like, E for everything games. You feel me? I really don't know any way else to say it. Weird. So when I was thinking of like a scary themed video to do, I wasn't just gonna do a video on, you know, regular horror games. What am I, stupid? No, so I was like, I'm gonna do a video on horror things in non-horror games. Yeah, I'm 100% sure that nobody's ever done that before on YouTube, so I think I'm safe. I think I'm in the clear for this one. However, this isn't just going to be me reciting to you guys my experiences with horror things in non-horror games. I'm going to do a little, we're going to turn on, you know what we're going to do? I'm actually going to call in psychiatrist Epideck into this episode, and we're going to go a little in depth into the brain. I don't know if you guys are, I have a degree in psychology, so clearly I know what I'm talking about. All right, so you guys just don't have to worry. Oh, dude, this lighting's 10 times better. It just got red. It's actually orange. I have an orange background. You guys want to see it? Look at that. Look at that beauty. Now on to the meat and greet of the video. This is what we've all been waiting for. So I've essentially boiled down the 3 main things in a video game that makes it scary. So obviously the core thing we're going to be talking about first is horror games, and then we're going to apply that to these non-horror games, because the logic is, how can something in a non-horror game be scary? It's not trying to be scary. Well, we're gonna find that today, lads. We're gonna get to the bottom of that. So I boiled it down to atmosphere, immersion, and movement. So all 3 of those play a role into it, and I'm gonna tell you about it. So obviously atmosphere, I mean, what, were you born yesterday? It's atmosphere, aka it's spooky. I'm in a spooky place, right? So for example, underwater, which is the most like scary thing in non-scary games, that's a pretty spooky atmosphere because usually it's dark. Usually it's dark because it's underwater. So now that we did that in-depth check-in on atmosphere, the next one is immersion. So guys, we're gonna go deep into this one. So I don't know if you guys remember, but there was this game way back in the day. I'm sure you all do remember because you're all pretty smart people. There was a game back in the day called the Maze Game. Now, it might have a different official name, but I think everybody kind of just called it the Maze Game. At least, it could very well be called the Maze Game. I don't care, shut up. You know how it works. On the very first level, it doesn't scare you. It makes you go through a couple of mazes before it actually jump scares you. When you play Outlast or Slender, those 2 beautiful games, the enemies don't come at you right away. Alright guys, remember this in your head. Remember this in your head. It's going to be useful later on. See, what these games are doing is they're giving you a chance to explore with no danger at all until you forget that there may even be an enemy. Is there an enemy? I don't know. I'm just in this lovely, creepy mansion, you know? Sometimes it really do be like that. It really gets you, you know, 1-to-1 with the game. See, the game is 1 and you're 1. Now you're 1-to-1. And it kind of just lowers your sense of security. So you begin to assume that it's a normal game. And for a kid's game, yeah, it actually is a normal game. So right off the bat, you're screwed. So you see, it's a long process to become 1-to-1 with a game. And it's a long process to break out of it. Or so I think. because I really have no idea at all. But it helps my case, so we're using it. When it's finally time for you to get caught in that scary situation, there's Slender. There's the Meat Man boy chasing after you. He's going to get you. He's running after you. When the scary maze girl pops up, you freeze, dog. Your movements become erratic. There clearly could be an easy way out of this situation, but you don't know what to do because you're spooked. Am I right, lads? And what these games do is they don't have them jump out at you every second, right? Because you're gonna expect it, and that's how these E for everything games get you. Because this is like one scare out of an entire game full of joy. So every time you get scared into a game, it's because you got lulled into a false sense of security. Okay, so now the third subject, movement. We're gonna go really in depth into this one. It's because you can't see the enemy. Really, you feel me? You feel me on that one? When you can't see the enemy, you don't know what they're doing. So you're getting a little spooked, right? You're getting a little spooked, especially if you haven't been exposed to the enemy and then you see them. You're kind of processing a lot because you're looking at them and you're like, I never seen you before. I don't know what you do or what you look like. It's kind of just one big spooky situation. So now, on to these little kiddie games, these little E for everything games that are supposed to fill us with joy. But they don't, do they? They don't fill us with joy. They fill us with dread sometimes. So I've got 4 examples from my personal life. I've got 2 from childhood and 2 from adulthood. This is pretty epic, right, guys? I'm sure everybody really cares about my personal experiences. So I've got 2 experiences from my young. Number 1, Super Mario Galaxy. You guys remember Super Mario Galaxy? This fun game where you're kind of just jumping around. There's some fat star people that are like, feed me, and it happens, and then Luigi shows up, and then you get to play the entire game over again as Luigi. It's fun times. But do you guys really remember that one boss? That one little skull shark gigantic boss that you have to fight alone on this tiny underwater island, underwater planet? Yeah, I remember that too. That was the scariest thing that ever happened to me. See, the thing about that is I feel like it's more of like you're just in water. You're in water and there's a shark. Like, it's hard to move. You're forced to stay in the water, and there's just some shark. And you know what's my weakness? The glowing eyes. They get me. Every game that has glowing eyes, I get scared, guys. I'm scared. I'm scared recording this video right now just thinking about it. Okay, second old example, Ape Escape. Don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. It was a PlayStation 1 game that for some reason has had like 6 sequels. I only knew of the first sequel. I have Ape Escape 1 and 2. I didn't know there was anything past that. Apparently there's like a 3, 4, 5, 6. They've got like a quintilogy on their hands. Don't even know if that's a real word. So basically, Ape Escape as a whole, all of their foreign animals that aren't apes or the character that you play as, they all kind of just look scary. Just like for the apes and the humans, they're like, let's make them look goofy. And then for the dinosaurs, they're like, let's make these have sharp teeth, small eyes, and like they're going to kill you at any second. Like it's scary, dude. So I think about the 3rd level. Maybe the 2nd level, you're in this jungle area, and it lulls you into a false sense of security. Wow, would you imagine that? You go into a river, and at first you're a little cautious. You're like, oh, this is strange. But you're in the river, there's nothing in there. Okay, carry on. Then you come into this pretty wide open space of water, and you're sitting there, and you're kind of just swimming along, and you're like, time to get to the next place. And then you're like, holy mother of God! Do you see what just happened there? I don't get why they would do that. Why would they do that to us? Lads, help me out here. So basically what you gotta do is you gotta cross the water with that devil inside there. Apparently there's a little thing that you can do where you can just like jump over him. I don't know who would dare to do that. What kind of psychopath would jump over that monster? But what the game intends you to do is it gives you a raft that you have to go into. Now, this game is kind of trying out the little DualShock thing with the PlayStation 1 in which you use both of the analog sticks to like move simultaneously. They were trying unique ways to do it. So on this raft, you have 2 paddles, and one stick controls 1 paddle. Now, the controls in the game, they're pretty solid, I would say. They're pretty solid. I would give them, I'd say they're pretty good. But back in the day, man, when you were doing certain jumps, you weren't sure which way you were going. Jumping forward while the camera's facing back will have you end up who knows where. So basically, you're sitting out on this lake with this huge monster under you. In that moment, you're going to pray and hope that you don't fall out of this nipple-sized raft and you get 360 no-scope by this electric monster. It's just scary. It's scary to me, guys. I mean, I definitely peed and farted during those moments. Alright, now for the current spooky situations. I know what you're thinking. I constantly know what you're thinking, apparently, because I am a psychiatrist epidemic. Epidemic, you seem so awesome. How could you get scared by anything? I know. How is that even possible? First of all, Majora's Mask, lads. You guys ever played that game? First time I played it was on the 3DS. You're in that Great Bay area. I don't even know if that's what it's called. But you're in this water area, and you've got to go down this long hole. So you go down the hole, and then there's like 10 million holes on the sides of these eels that are just in the back with these glowing frickin' eyes. So you're kind of just chilling, going down the hole, and then what the frick? You guys see that? Basically, they can come out at you and they'll just annihilate you. I mean, when it actually happens, when they actually bite you, it's not that scary, but it's just the thought of it. And, as a teenager, I played it. The teenager that I am, I played it, and I was scared, Dak. And I feel like it's Ape Escape that really triggered this thing inside me that made me scared of water in video games. It scarred me for life. The second example of current age is Monster Hunter 3. Now, oddly enough, it's another underwater thing. So basically, in Monster Hunter 3, you fight monsters, these big bad boys. Usually they're pretty cool, right? But there's one monster called the Lagiacrus. You don't really get involved with it early in the game. I didn't even know what it looked like. It's on the cover art, but that's about all I knew. And I think you get introduced to it in the middle of the story, but that's about all I knew of it. So me, being the little gamer boy that I was, it was actually a while ago, but it was recent enough so that I was competent. You feel me? I wasn't 2 years old when this happened. So there's this little beach, and I went into the water, and I'm chilling in the water, and so the water, the farther away things are, it starts to turn into 2D shadows. The farther away things get, because of atmosphere and stuff. And I'm chilling in the water, fighting things, and I look, and way in the distance, I see these two glowing eyes with a silhouette, a very light silhouette of just this gigantic monster staring at me. I was so far away from it, but I had to pause the game, dogs. I had to pause the game. I was like, I ain't dealing with this. I'm dipping right here, right now. It was actually spooky. It was actually spooky, guys. It's the glowing eyes, guys. It seriously gets me every time. Mario Galaxy, Monster Hunter, Majora's Mask. I don't even know what to feel at this point. Anyways, so those were really all of my examples. And what did all those examples have in common? They lull you into a false sense of security. Except for kind of Mario Galaxy. Ape Escape, it introduces you to water before it introduces you to the big scary enemy. And that's kind of a basic in video games, is you introduce the basic concept and then you build on top of it. But they spooked me a little bit. There. Majora's Mask, they introduce water, swimming, and then they're like, here's a scary monster. Monster Hunter, again, they introduce. This should just become why water is scary. That should be the title of the video now. That's pretty much all I had to say. Things in video games are scary, and sometimes, lads, us gamers are oppressed. I'm just gonna say it right now, guys. Us gamers, we face insane oppression. I hope we can break out of it. Hey, fist bump, guys. I hope we can break out of this. You know what I'm saying? Alright, for the last bit of this outro, I'm gonna turn the lights. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little Halloween special, you would say. It's not really a special. It's just a regular video of me speaking. Spider-Man knows it. Yep. Spider-Man knows everything. I feel like I should have a more climactic ending to this video. But I don't know what to do. Well, that's about it. I don't really know what else to talk about. Did you guys hear that? Okay, I'm gonna go investigate them. Be right back.
Guess it was nothing.